We're back. The second part of this screencast is going to center around the use of the tool that we will be using. This tool is called VoiceThread, and I'm going to show you how to use VoiceThread. I wanted to show you that here in our Module 2 we have a discussion forum. Your VoiceThread is going to end up in the discussion forum as well as on your wiki page. So one of the things that you're going to want to do is in your wiki, create a new page. You do that by logging into Wiki Spaces, going to your wiki, and clicking the plus sign next to where it says Pages and Files. You can find that either on the right side, the left side. If you picked a theme, the spiral notebook pops into my mind. You will have your links across the top of the page. So you're going to want to pick the one that says create a new page. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So I'm going to go to Wiki Spaces. And I'm going to sign in to my wiki space using the username and password that you created the first time we had class. Now, yours is not going to look like this. I have 14 million of these. Yours will probably look something along the lines of you might have to click on your name as it appears up here, and then it'll show you the wiki that you have created. So I'm going to go into my wiki, and as you can see on this particular theme that I have a link over here that says Pages and Files, and then there's a plus sign. Let me go ahead and change this to show you what it could look like. Let's see. As I said, I think the one that has the spiral notebook look is the one that I'm thinking about. So I'm going to go ahead and apply that, and I'm going to go home. And as you can see, when I do that, things look very different. In other words, there's no longer do you have the nice look across on the right or left side of a table of contents there across the top. But it all works the same way. So for me to create a new page in my wiki, I'm going to click on the plus sign. It's going to pop up and it's going to say, what is the page name called? I can make this anything I want. I would strongly suggest you title it Module 2 and maybe something along the lines of Digital Citizenship VoiceThread. Once you've got that title in, go ahead and tell it to create it. Oh, it's kicking me out because I've used a colon. You're not allowed to use punctuation. Okay, so I'm going to create. Now, notice we've got a blank page, and I've told you this, and I will tell it to you every time we do this. You must put something on the blank page before you save it, otherwise it won't be created. So I'm just going to basically start here with VoiceThread. And that gives me something there so that when I save it, it actually then gets saved. And as you can see, it's there. And if you look over here in my table of contents, it's there as well. Okay? So let's go back. So we're going to create a VoiceThread. What is a VoiceThread? Well, here in the Module 2, there is a folder called VoiceThread, and there are a great many tutorials in here for you to read. Now, if you're the kind of person who wants to have paper in your hand to read and step by step, here it is right here. Here are videos for you to watch. Tons and tons and tons and tons. People tell me that I get a little crazy here with this, but that's okay. I I think that one of the things that I get lots of questions about is, can I use YouTube videos in my VoiceThread? Yes, you can. YouTube, by its very nature of stuff being in YouTube, is covered under what's called Creative Commons licensing structure. This is a digital citizenship element, by the way. This is all about digital law. And because it's covered under that particular area, we have the ability to use it, as long as we don't make money off of the use of the videos. So this website that I have here allows you to actually download YouTube videos into normal files that you can then turn around and upload into the VoiceThread. We'll talk about this more in digital law. For right now, just realize, yes, you can do it. All right, so let's learn how to use VoiceThread. VoiceThread is a very simple tool once you understand how it works. A lot of you have already been taught VoiceThread by me in Dr. Thomas's class or Dr. Finch's class, so this is probably not going to be all that unusual for you. Notice first of all that I have lots and lots of VoiceThreads. If you are going to use a VoiceThread, I would strongly urge you to log in with my username and password. This allows you to create a VoiceThread as long as you want. It also allows you to find people who are also in VoiceThread who have logged in under my name, and you can then partner up with them to work collaboratively on a VoiceThread. Let's go through the steps real fast. This is the new look, by the way, of VoiceThread. And when you log in, it basically just shows you all the different VoiceThreads that you've created. Now, if I click here, the first thing it says that it wants me to do is to start adding media. Now, if I were sitting in front of a Windows computer, this gets quite easy because there's that whole folder in Windows called Pictures, and I can just go pop in there. So I'm going to have to do a little bit of hoop jumping here on my Mac. But what I wanted to show you was, as you can see, I can add media from my computer. I can also use a webcam video if I wanted to literally have my webcam take a video of me. I'll show you an example of this when we get finished here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go start looking for pictures. And as I said, on my particular computer, I don't have a thing called Pictures, but I do have something called Cartoons here in a folder. Let's use them. If I have worked ahead of time, which is the best way to do this, I've already gone into Google and I've started using Google Images to locate things for my VoiceThread. Let me show you what I mean by that. So let's assume that my VoiceThread that I'm working on is called Digital Law. So if I use Google and just type in Digital Law and then type in Images, I start finding all kinds of great pictures that I can use as I build my VoiceThread around the 4 parts of the framework. So I need to find pictures that help me with the definition, the awareness. I need pictures that help me build the parameters of what digital law is about. That would be the understanding piece. I need pictures that help me build around the idea of action, what is appropriate, what is inappropriate. And then finally, when I start thinking about self-reflection, evaluation, deliberation, remember I said Ribble uses all those terms interchangeably. So I just want to build call it a catalog, call it a portfolio, call it what you want, of pictures that I might want to use. And as you can see, under Google Images, sky's the limit. And so I might start off here with one that's a very big obvious. Digital Law is the name of it. And so if I click on it and I right click on it, as you can see, it says Save Image As. And let me give you a little heads up here. If it comes up with an actual name, do you see how this one is named law.jpg? You need to be aware that that is a copyrighted image. And you probably shouldn't use it. In fact, you shouldn't use it because you're stealing from someone else. Let's pick another picture. Let's do the same thing. Notice what this one comes up looking like. It doesn't know what it is. And so in this particular instance, if we go a little bit further in looking at where it came from, and we right click on that, and we save image as, do you see what it does? It's now telling you a very specific name. So once again, I need to be aware that if something has a very specific name attached to the file, it probably means that it is a copyrighted image and you shouldn't go using it. Unless you do the following. If you will create a simple Word document, and let me do that. So I'm going to bring up Word. Because the power of VoiceThread is that you can literally put anything into a VoiceThread. You can put PowerPoints, you can put pictures, you can put video images, you can put movies, you can put Excel spreadsheets. Anything will go into a VoiceThread. And so if we're going to be dealing with things that are copyrighted, the easiest way to stay out of trouble is to, let's go back to that really good example that we liked a lot. Follow it to its original source, primary source. Here's the one that I want to use, and I'm going to save the image as, and you notice this one's fully titled up here, Computer Law, etc., etc. I'll go ahead and throw this on my desktop, and I'm going to save it. Now watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to go up here and I'm going to copy that. I'm going to go to my Word doc and I'm going to paste in the URL of where this came from. And I'm going to type retrieved on January 2015. There you go. You have now covered yourself in terms of copyright violation. You do this for every picture you find. You do not have to do this for your YouTube video. YouTube videos are covered under Creative Commons licensing structure. You then upload this into your VoiceThread, and I'm just going to call it bibliography, and you're covered. So now I'm going to have that open, and I'm going to continue on with my search for, oh, here's a really good picture right here, digital law, piracy. Good picture. And I'm going to, oh, well, this is someone's slide share, so I can't take that one at all. Oh, yes, I can. So I'm going to save that image as digital law, desktop again, and I'm going to copy where it came from, and I'm going to put it into my Word doc and do the same process. Retrieved on January 24. If you want to shorten that to the exact, in other words, you want to make it just a date notation, 1/24/2015 is fine. But as you can see, as I go through and I'm using these pictures, I'm keeping track of where they came from. So I don't have to go back and do all that all over again. It's hard, folks, to go back and try to recreate these things. There's another good one. Again, you see how I keep clicking through until I get to its primary source. In other words, where did it come from? And this is an untitled Prezi. You know what's funny is what you're seeing happen here is you're seeing imagery that people are using. And look, this is 9 themes of digital citizenship. You're looking at images that people are using in their own presentations, and they may not be the original source of them as well. As we keep showing you here, I keep flying back to this Prezi. So you might have to do a little hunting, and that's part of the fun of this. It's almost like a scavenger hunt, you know, looking for pictures that are appropriate. Remember, the picture is what you're using to tell your story. Now, how do I use text, you might ask? Well, the simplest way to use text is just to use a simple PowerPoint. Don't get fancy with your PowerPoint. Use simple black text, white backgrounds, and I wouldn't mix my pictures with my text. In other words, the pages from my PowerPoint would just be text. Here's another good one. Let's go see where this one came from. As you can see, there's lots of video, or lots of stock images here. Now notice on this particular one that is a stock image that it's letting me save it. I'll save that, and I will go here. I will copy the link, and I'm going to take it over here, and I'm going to put it into my bib, and we're going to do retrieved on, and as you can see, it's a very straightforward, simple process. Just keep track of them. All right, now that I got a few images, let's go back into our VoiceThread and let's add them in. So I'm going to go over here to my computer. Here are my 3 pictures that I went out and found. I'm going to do what's called the shift select, meaning I hold down the shift key and then I can select all 3 of them at the same time, and I'm going to open. And as you can see, they then come into my VoiceThread. Now what I can do with this at this point is I can rearrange how I want them to appear in the VoiceThread just by dragging them around. If I want to add a title, I can. Most of the time you don't. But now let's look at what I'm going to do as I work with this. How am I going to really turn it into a VoiceThread? Well, you're going to select the slide. You're going to click on where it says comment. Now, the first time you do this, and this is really important, it's going to ask you to save your VoiceThread. So you always want to do this. What I'm going to ask you to do is to make sure you title it the following way. You're going to title it with your digital citizenship element and your name. That way, even though you've logged in as me, it will be credited to you. You don't need to worry about descriptions and tags. So I'm going to go ahead and save it. Now, when I do that, it's now waiting for me to add a voice to it. You are not allowed to use the text tool. It must be your voice. And the easiest way to do it is to use the microphone that's built into your computers. Some people like using the webcam. So if I'm going to start it, I'm going to click on this, and Okay, sorry about that. I'm on a Mac, and the first time, this is quite illustrative, the first time you use your Mac and you want to record, you're going to have to make sure that you go into, this is only for Macintoshes, people, you go into your system preferences and you find the one for your Flash player, and you have to tell it that you want to add VoiceThread, which I see I have. And I do that by clicking on this little plus down here, and I actually put in this name of the website that uses Flash that I want to be able then to use with my computer. And then you come over here and there's a little drop down arrows and you tell it to allow, and you close it. You may have to reload your page, which is what I did, and when I did that I stopped the recording so you wouldn't have to deal with all that. But now I'm ready. And so I'm now going to click on, click on the plus sign here. And as you can see, it gives me my choices of the ways that I can add a comment. So my first choice is I'm going to use my microphone. And VoiceThread does this nice little countdown thingies. And now it's recording my voice. And I'm now talking, and as you can see, well, you can't really see it too well, but down here at the bottom it says that I'm speaking, and I'm going to keep speaking, and then once I finished I click on it again, it stops the recording. I can then save it. I can also hear it if I wanted to, and so I'll save it over here, and because it's me, it actually has a way for me to listen to it, and then I can then move on to my next slide. And I can do the same steps again. I can click on the microphone, start recording. Piracy is one of the biggest parts of digital law. We need to understand that just because we can take something, if it's copyrighted material, we should not. And now I'm going to stop. And I can save that recording. We're back again. Sorry about that. So as you can see, adding content to your VoiceThread is very simple. Adding your voice to your VoiceThread is very simple. I can go through and basically move through each one of my slides and add my voice. Now, let's click the X so we can go back to our VoiceThread. And here we are again. What I want to do here is I want to keep editing it, so I'm going to pop back into Edit. Let's add a PowerPoint so you can see what that looks like. And in fact, why don't we go ahead and use the PowerPoint that we used at the beginning of class so you can see what it could look like. Now this of course is going to be a million slides long, so don't worry about that. Yours has to be this long. I just want you to see what it looks like. So let me get to the PowerPoint that I want to use. And it's not here, or I'm not seeing it. Yeah, we can use this one. This is a really short PowerPoint that I use in one of your assignments. So as you can see, it's uploading the PowerPoint. When it gets finished, each slide in the PowerPoint will become the slide in your VoiceThread. Give it a second here for it to finish loading. I'll go ahead and pause until it does that. Okay, it's now loaded, so you can now see what a PowerPoint that you would have used, what it looks like in your VoiceThread. In fact, you'll be using this PowerPoint in one of your modules when we get to talking about the AUP, Acceptable Use Policy. Now the same thing happens here that we have already played with. I can move my slides around just like before. So wherever I want them to go, I can let them go. Now, the nice thing about it is, at this point, once I get all of my pieces in place, I now can start the recording and just move through the slides one at a time and record what it is that I want to say about my topic, my digital citizenship topic. It's that simple. Now let me show you how you can incorporate a video. So I'm going to go up here. Let me drop this back. Let's drop back into edit mode. I'm going to go up here to YouTube. And I've already done a search under the term digital law. Let me go ahead and do that again. And what I found was a video that I would like to use. And I've kind of watched the video a little bit to hear what it's about. This is something called Extra Normal that unfortunately has gone out of business. It was a really great website. We're going to use something similar to it called GoAnimate. But as you can see, here's my YouTube search, and I can kind of look up and down through here and decide which one I want to use. Well, this one on digital law from Extra Normal kind of looks cool, so I think I'm going to try to use that one. And the way I get this...
Can't believe I'm actually going to jail.
What did you do anyway?
Okay. This I'm going to get by copying the address, and then I'm going to use a website called KeepVid. And I'm going to paste it in here, and I'm going to click on where it says download. Now when I do that, what's going to happen is it's going to have a Java app open up. As you can see, it's saying loading Java applet. This may take a little while, so you have to be patient with it. When the Java applet opens up, you can then pick the kind of video that you want. I'm going to go ahead and pause while we wait for that to happen. Okay, we're back. I wanted you to see this. It takes a while for it to come up. And if you're on Firefox, you're going to have to respond to a box that'll pop up that'll say, do you want to allow Java to work? And you'll say, keep allowing. When you do that, then up pops this. And you always want to put this check here. And that way you don't have to deal with KeepVid downloader needing to be asked every time if it's allowed to work. I'm going to click Run. And as you can see, it's come up with the choices I now have to download this video from YouTube. I'm going to download it as 480p. As you can see, it's only 3.9 megabits big, which is the perfect size for use. And I think you have a 10 meg limit. So let me go ahead and click on that. I don't know why I'm pinwheeling. Let me go ahead and stop and we'll come back to it. Again, I apologize. Let's go ahead and click on download the MP4. As you can see, it pops up and it says, what do you want to do with it? Well, all I want to do with it is just to save it. So I'm going to click OK. So what it's doing now is it now has downloaded my movie from YouTube to my desktop. I'm going to jump back into my VoiceThread. I'm going to add my media from my computer, and this should have ended up in my documents. Let's see, it's probably because on my Mac I probably have it in my downloads folder. Here it is. It's in my downloads folder. So I'm going to select it and I'm going to open it up. And now it's uploading into my VoiceThread. And so that is essentially it. This is how you build a VoiceThread. As you can see, it's being added at this point. When it gets finished, it'll be its own slide that will play the entire video. I can drag it around the screen, put it anywhere I want to put it. It's as simple as that. Now the question then becomes is what do we do with our VoiceThread once we're finished with it? Well, let's take a look at how we're going to take the VoiceThread that we've created and move it to the various places that I'm asking you to take it. So I'm going to go to Share and then Export. Now notice it says it doesn't do an export in this version of VoiceThread. That's okay. I can open it in the older version. And once I do that, as you can see, it comes up looking like this. I can even work on it from here. So I'm going to go ahead and drag that someplace else. And there's my video that I did. In this version of VoiceThread, the button I'm going to click on is located down here. It says Embed. And there's a copy of the code, just like we did when we were playing around with the TED Talks and the Sir Ken videos and our Voki when we first set all that up on our first page. Now I'm going to jump all the way back into our module here. And in this module, as you can see, I've set up a digital citizenship discussion forum. I'm going to create a new thread. Am I clicking here? And in this new thread, I'm going to give it a title. I'm going to call it Digital Law by Steve Swan. I'm going to click on where it says HTML CSS over here. Up will pop a box. And I'm going to paste in that code that I just took. And I'm going to update it. I'm going to submit it. Now, when I click on my thread that I've added now to our here's my VoiceThread. Now, it's saying that I haven't made it public, and that's my fault. But I just wanted you to see that it's now fully active, that you can click through the VoiceThread where we have recordings. It will play them.
I can't believe I'm actually going to jail.
What did you do anyway?
I stole music.
Okay. It's that simple to do. One of the things that I forgot to do when I was back here is I want to make sure that I've turned on some things. So I'm going to make sure I've turned on anybody can view it and that anybody can comment on it. It's that simple, and I'm going to save it. Now, this is one of the amazing things about VoiceThread. I can literally change what my VoiceThread looks like or how it works or add more to it. And once I do that, it will then feed it back through the VoiceThread here, and so that it will make the changes for me. Isn't that cool? So I can work on a VoiceThread, change it up, and it will then come back looking different the next time I use it. Now, I need to reload the page, and if I reload the page, I'll probably lose my blackboard, so I don't want to do that. But that's what I'm saying. You can change your VoiceThread up from the original VoiceThread, and then the changes will feed through to where it lives in wherever you placed it. Now let's look at how we would do that from our wiki spaces. Let's go back into our wiki spaces. Sorry about that, I spelled it wrong. Okay, finally. Wiki spaces, here we are. So I'm going to go to my wikis, and I'm going to find the one I was playing with. There it is. And I'm going to look for that page that I created. And now I'm going to follow, sorry about the dogs, I'm going to follow the same simple steps that we've been using since the beginning of this. And I'm going to paste it in. I'm going to save it. Make sure I've got a gray box. Save it again. And there it is. Sorry about all the dog noises. Notice when I have copied over the VoiceThread into my wiki space, the changes I made in the VoiceThread, which were to start the video at the very beginning, now show up. So we are going to place the VoiceThread in our class discussion forum, and we're also going to place the VoiceThread into our module for this particular one. Oh, I forgot to save it. Well, it gives me a chance to show it to you again. So I'm going to go edit. There's my other widget. I'm going to save it. And there it is. Okay. Alrighty. Now, back to the assignment. And I'll get rid of these threads that I put in here because, well, especially this one, because it's such a hodgepodge. What I will show you though is I do have one in here that is an example from the fall class, that if you want to see what it what a superlative one looks like, here you go, right here. This was made by Carly and Terry, and one of the things that you'll notice about it is that they are using the ability to actually see themselves. In other words, they record
and we're here to
themselves.
talk to you about digital access. So today we'd like to start with a comic between a dad and his daughter, and the dad asks, "Hi sweetie, how was your school today?" And she replies, "You can read all about it on my blog, Dad." So we just like to start off with like this disconnect.
As you can see, they have done a really nice job of mixing up the media. They've used their PowerPoint to basically get in their ideas. They then walk you through it, and they have added in here their voice when they want to make a point. So here we are, Carly and Terry are going to show up again.
Created has a lot of digital understanding, equality, teacher, the community, what's appropriate, what's not appropriate, accommodate.
Okay, so that I think is a really good example if you want to look at it as to what one that was done that was really well done. All right, we will, if we go back to this particular module, I wanted to make sure you understand that we will take 2 class periods to do this. And we will come back around to having a class period where in early February where you can take the time to catch up on anything that you haven't finished. So this was an explanation of how we're going to be looking at the 9 elements of digital citizenship through the digital citizenship framework, which has 4 components: awareness, understanding, action and deliberation, evaluation, self-reflection. Remember, I keep saying that this is, Ripple uses those terms interchangeably. We are asking that you create a voice thread. The part of the voice thread that we want you to have is we want you to make sure that we have a definition that explains it. We want you to take us through the various parameters of what is appropriate and inappropriate. We want you to explain to us the action that would be appropriate, and then finally present a scenario that would be something that we would consider as a part of our deliberation and our evaluation of, did we think that what would we do in the scenario would be the proper thing to do. The other thing I'm asking you to do is to create a word mosaic about your topic, and all this goes into the voice thread. I get a lot of questions about, so how many slides does the voice thread need to have? As you can see, you would need a slide for awareness, understanding, action, and deliberation. You also need to make sure that you follow copyright law. So either use the public source, create your own title tag, your captions as appropriate, and take advantage of that really simple way that I showed you to create a bibliography. If you do any of those things, then you are in total compliance with copyright use of copyrighted material. It's as simple as that. Okay, as I said, we'll be taking the next 2 classes to do this, and we will then share what we have finished. We will be given a time in our makeup date on February to get all of this caught up, so you really will have 3 classes to get this done in. Thank you. Look forward to any questions or emails you might have. Please feel free to contact me.